Ah. Ow. What's up, Dank homies? MemeSageZ here, and today we're going to be talking about Umbra Excalibur, as if that hasn't been done already. Now, I know I'm super late to talking about Excalibur Umbra, but I wanted to make sure that my build for Excalibur Umbra was perfect. I mean, this is the best build you will find on YouTube for this Warframe. This is the build for Excalibur Umbra. Now, before we get started with this build, I want to go ahead and spoil for you guys what exactly the sheer power this build has.
Damn, girl.
But now I want to talk about the abilities. But if you think you know everything in a bag of chips about Umbra's abilities, then what you can go ahead and do is skip to the time that I have on the screen right now. That is, if future me remembered to actually put the time on the screen. Hopefully I did. But you can go ahead and skip over there and you will see the build that I have, and then you will see it in action. But for those of you who want to learn something new about his abilities that you may not already know, then stick around. So Umbra Excalibur's first ability is called Slash Dash. Now what this ability does is it will make you dash into all enemies on your screen within a certain range of your starting point. So I have a total of 17 meters on my Excalibur Umbra for Slash Dash, so it's going to hit the enemy I first aim at, and for the next 17 meters it will go throughout all enemies until it's reached all of that distance, or until it's hit all enemies on screen. So if I face this way and I see these enemies on screen and use the ability, it's only going to dash to those guys. But if I'm looking in this direction and I aim at this guy, it's going to hit every single enemy. Also, while using this ability, you are invulnerable to damage, so I suggest using this ability to close distances very quickly. So like these guys, they shoot and you don't want to get shot by them, you just close the distance like that and you start doing your melee thing. Excalibur Umbra's second ability is called Radial Howl. What this ability does is you will let out a loud scream, and all enemies that are within your line of sight as far as a certain distance will be blinded. What that means is that they will be stunned and they will take 8 times more melee damage than they normally do. So as you can see, I just cast the ability there, they're all blinded and they're all open to finishers, like so. Excalibur Umbra's third ability is called Radial Javelin. Now what this ability is really great for is clearing out fodder enemies. You will make a bunch of javelins come out of the ground and stab all enemies that are within your line of sight, like so. And it's really great for fodder level enemies, not really that great for non-low level enemies like these. Wow, I'm garbage. Cut! So this is where the fun begins. Excalibur Umbra's fourth ability is called Exalted Blade. Now when you use this ability, you will summon a sword that does a lot of damage. It just does a lot of damage. Also, when you swing it, waves of energy come out and you just do a lot of damage. Look at all that damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Now last but not least, we have Excalibur Umbra's passive, which when you go into operator mode, Excalibur Umbra becomes alive and starts attacking all by himself. He'll follow you around like a pet. He'll be using his blind abilities and everything and doing that and jumping off the map.
Need some sleep. You can't go on like this.
Now when it comes to making a build for Excalibur Umbra, there's really only one build that stands out among all of the rest. Now without further ado, this is my Despacito 2 build. No more Despacito memes. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my god, MemeSageZ, why? Why MemeSageZ? You betrayed us! Okay, look, I didn't get a chance to use this meme yet, okay? I've been busy. I've been going through things, doing things, and now I get a chance to use this meme. Okay, I'll never use it again. I kind of promise. You don't have to unsubscribe. So now let's get on with the build. So first we have our 3 Umbra mods. Now, some people are against even using these mods. Like some people, they're really not for using the armor mod and they want to replace it. Let me tell you something. Do not replace these Umbra mod slots with Forma. If you do that, you will not be able to get them back. As you can see here, Forma does not set it to Umbra. You only get these slots once. If you really want to use anything other than the Umbra mods, then just use normal Excalibur. Do not get rid of these mod slots. Next we have Prime Flow and Prime Continuity here. Reason why we have Prime Flow is that we have more energy that allows for your Exalted Blade to last longer, as well as Prime Continuity, it increases the duration of your blind as well as your Exalted Blade, which adding ability duration also helps the efficiency of your exalted weapon. We have stretch here. Reason why we have stretch is because it makes the blind ability reach even further, and the range on that thing is crazy. Like, you should really use stretch on Excalibur Umbra, as well as the first ability. It makes you dash even further. That means that you can close distances between you and enemies that are even further away. And we have Streamline for, of course, for more efficiency, so that you can use your abilities much longer. But the most important mod that we have here is Chromatic Blade. What this does, it will change all of the damage values in your Exalted Blade, which we will get into the build for that in a second, into whatever element your Warframe's color is set to. So currently we have the color set to a bit of a yellowish kind of color, which makes the heat damage element, which will change the base damage of Exalted Blade to heat. Now some people are saying, MemeSageZ, why don't you go with Toxin green color instead of yellow heat? Well, the reason why I'm doing that is because I have all my Toxin mods on the weapon itself. Now for some reason, if I were to make the color green and have the heat 60% mod instead of the Toxin 60% mod, it does less damage. I can't figure out exactly why. Maybe it's because it only uses the damage values that come from mods itself instead of the color, I guess. I don't know. I'll leave that to Zelp to calculate. Zelp is a really good Warframe YouTuber. He does like all the deep calculations and stuff. If you care about all the deep calculations of how the build works and stuff, I say go to him. Now what we're trying to get this weapon to do is we are building this weapon for gas damage. Reason why is because gas damage does so much freaking damage with this weapon that it is just, why would you not go with this damage type? Okay, this is the best damage type with this weapon. But now first we have the 2 sacrificial mods. These mods are so amazing on this weapon. I'll probably go into more in-depth detail about these weapons, about these mods in its own video, but for this video I'm just going to be very brief with it. These mods, I keep saying these weapons, but these mods are very much needed for any crit based melee weapon in this game, because these mods are just way too good. Anyone who tells you otherwise, they're either drunk or stupid. Don't listen to them. These mods are amazing. Now the only thing that would ever be interchangeable about this build would be the energy color. Reason being is that being that we built this for gas damage, this is going to work for pretty much every faction at a really good speed. It's going to take down almost anything. But if you're going against strictly Grineer enemies, I'm not talking about Sanctuary Onslaught, I'm not talking about Orkin, I'm talking about strictly Grineer enemies that all have armor, then what I would suggest you do is go over and change the energy color to maybe like a blue. That way it turns into electricity, and then the weapon turns into corrosive. That will do so much damage against enemies unless you have corrosive projection. If you do have corrosive projection, then I say just stick with the gas damage. It will do phenomenally against anything. Or if you have something on your team that strips away armor, again, just stick with the gas damage. So pretty much just stick with the gas damage. Unless you're really want to go for that corrosive. Now there's always that one person in the comment section like, MemeSageZ, but you're using gas damage. What do you do when you're going against a toxic ancient? Because when you use gas damage on them, the damage doesn't tick. Well, watch this. This is gonna blow your mind, young one. Watch this. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. Well, that's what you do. You shoot it. And in addition, I do use my Adarza Kavat when I play with Excalibur Umbra. That sounds bad. I do use my Adarza Kavat when I use Excalibur Umbra because every 20 seconds, you get 10 seconds of extra critical chance. That is dope as heck. Use it with the blade. It's very, very good. Now, I want to go ahead and show you guys how everything I just told you should be executed. First, you're going to want to go into operator mode and go invisible and wait for Excalibur Umbra to use his howl to automatically blind the enemies around you without wasting any extra energy. Then you go back into Excalibur Umbra, take out your exalted blade, and go to town. Then if there are enemies that are too far away from you to reach without them damaging you, you use your first ability to close that distance, and then you just go ahead and take them out. But if they're really far away from you and you really can't reach them, then go into operator mode and void dash to them. That will give you even more energy to play with, and that should stun the enemies around the area that you dash to because it will knock them down. So the way you're going to want to play Excalibur Umbra is a perfect blend between you and your operator. And the eternal skill that I do recommend for you to use with your operator when using Excalibur Umbra is Zeneric. Reason being is because Zeneric will allow you to regain your energy as fast as possible, as well as give you the ability to electrocute and stun enemies whenever you void dash. Although most other people like using Naraman or Matter because of the extra damage or the extra critical output, but personally I prefer to use Zeneric. And there you have it. There goes my build for Excalibur Umbra. This Warframe is my favorite Warframe in the game. I know every time I make a build video I say that again and again, but this time I mean it. Like, this is my favorite Warframe and possibly the most interactive Warframe in the game. But don't get me wrong, this Warframe is no Boar Vessel 600-500 BC Etruscan ceramic, but he is pretty dang good. But that's gonna be it for today's video, and if you guys enjoyed today's video, go ahead and leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet and want to become part of the Dank family, then go ahead and do so, and I will see you guys later. Peace and much love.
Don't change, don't change, even though life ain't the same. Say don't change, don't change, don't change, life gon' make it happen anyway. I say don't change, don't change, don't change, even though life ain't the same. Say don't change, don't change, don't change.